Finally, after 3 attempts driving 2 hours north in the past 2 weeks and getting turned around and sent home because there was no place to park up here and no trails to go down with downed trees everywhere, we finally found a place to park and we're out camping. And we're camping in the same place as our first video last summer. So it should be a beautiful view. All right, let's do. All right, I gotta make the circle a little larger. All right, we got camp set up and you can probably hear it starting to sleet right now. It's hitting the top of the tent. We still have a few hours of daylight left, so I think we should go around and explore the area before we start dinner later, right? Go for a walk. So if you look right here, you can see a bunch of sheets of ice that have crashed up on top of each other. That's from the current coming down the river, pushing them all together. And if you look hard enough, you can see open water down there. So I don't think Alice and I should probably go that way. This way looks better with no open water. Come on, Alice. Alice, come on. Let's go this way. Come on. Good girl. So it's definitely thicker than 4 inches. I'm sure those sheets of ice on top of each other are refrozen over so many times. Little flame going. All right, I brought a bunch of small stuff because I knew everything outside was covered in snow and it's all wet still. All right, for dinner, I'm gonna make something I've never done before. We're gonna make some
Jambalaya, dude.
All right, to start out, we gotta add some onions and green peppers. All right, gotta add about a half cup of water. Rice mix. All right, now I'm gonna add
Yard pimp sausage.
Now all I have to do is add these diced tomatoes. That's pretty much ready to go. All right, here you go, good girl. Wow, this looks amazing. Oh, it's probably gonna burn my mouth though right now. Let's try it. Perfect. Alice is in her new sleeping bag, all ready for bed, and it's about 80 degrees in here. That's why I don't have my sweater on or my hat right now. It's really warm in here. Anyways, on the walk in, I started to tell you guys about the last couple weeks where I drove 3 times up here, which is 2 hours away, to try and go camping, and I got turned around and sent home each time. The first time I drove up here was the first real snowfall of the season. I had everything almost set up. The hot tent, I was just setting up the stove, and then as I was putting the stovepipe up, I realized I didn't have the heat resistant piece, the little square that the pipe goes through. So it would have just been blizzarding all night through the hole, on top of my stove, on top of my cooking, everything. And I didn't have any other heating source or way to cook. So I didn't really know what to do, and I went home. And once I got home, I realized I didn't have my Silky Saw Big Boy. So that sucked. 3 days later, there was another blizzard. I drove again 2 hours north to go camping and look for my saw. First thing I did was go straight to the saw to go find it. I know where it was. I saw the shots of me walking in. From one shot I had it, one shot I didn't. So it's in a very specific spot. Maybe it's sticking out. I can see it through the snow or something like that. But I get to the trail that I drove down. Snowplows push the snowbanks up about 3 feet on the sides of the road. And then I look down the trail, and there's about 5 trees in the first quarter mile covering the trail from all the snow and wind that came from that first snowstorm. So needless to say, if I didn't leave that first night and come home, I would have been trapped down that trail. So I decided to park on the side of the road, kind of sticking halfway in the road. Very dangerous, but I wanted to go look for my saw anyways. Alice and I got ready. We hiked down the trail about a half mile to where we set up camp. I could not find the saw, and next to where I set the tent up, about a foot away, a big branch fell. So it was actually a really good idea I left. I would have either been crushed by a branch as well as getting my truck stuck down there. I would have called someone to come pick me up, walk out to the road, and who knows how long it would have been since the trail would have been cleared. So Alice and I hiked back to the truck, get in, try and drive around and look for a place to camp at least. None of the parking lots were plowed. It was about 1.5 feet of snow. Every trail was covered with snow and downed trees. So I went home again. A few days later though, I came up with my parents to go snowshoeing to check out the trail conditions and everything. But it was still just the same. 5 days later, I drive up again. I assumed that the parking lots would be plowed. Maybe some of the trails would have been cleared out, something. Nope. Everything was exactly the same it was. So I just used that day as a scouting day. I just drove around looking for places to park, and eventually I found this spot that I'm in today. Pretty ridiculous. Wasted quite a bit of money, but it's worth it. Today is perfect. Not too much snow, no wind, not too cold, probably around high 20s to 30. Yeah, not a bad day at all. So I'm just gonna relax with Atlas and chill out for a little bit. Well, it's around 7:30 in the morning. The sun comes up in about a half hour. And I just wanted to get up before then and get the tent heated up before I get dressed and heat my boots up. They're a little damp on the inside. But right now, I'm gonna start some coffee. So I got one of these coffee filter straws recently. And it's really cool because all you need to do is bring your cup, grounds, and then the straw. And all I have to do is heat up the water, put the grounds in like normal, and then pull, and then the filter keeps the grounds from coming up. That's pretty cool. Oh, this looks great. Smells really good. For some reason, it smells like a McDonald's sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit or something. It's the sausage. I think it's like apple maple or something like that. Atlas. Oh, there you are. Oh, I forgot the sled down there. I know there's some people out there thinking, why is he out there if there's open water down there and open water by the shoreline over here? The last time I was here in the summertime, I was kayaking through here and it's maybe 3 feet deep at the most. That's why you're able to see all the weeds coming up through the ice. If I were to fall through, I'd be like waist deep and I'd pull myself out. It'd be really cold, but my truck's only a quarter mile away, so it's worth it. It's a really eerie fog out here right now. It's pretty cool though. That just means that warm weather's rolling in. Ready? Let's go. We're out of here. It's supposed to rain in a couple hours, so I don't want to be in that, and I know Atlas wouldn't have a good time in that. So we're gone, but I'm happy we finally got out here in the snow. That was a rough couple of weeks. Anyways, we had a fun time. Hopefully you had a good time with us. We'll see you on the next Atlas Adventures.